Phil Danaher replaced David Curtis in the centre, and Kenny Murphy was called in at full-back in place of the injured Jim Staples. The pack, though, was the same one which had played against England, and Phil Matthews, despite some fierce criticism, retained the captaincy. After their Calcutta Cup defeat, the Scots had decided to leave well alone. Craig Chalmers, injured in a club match last week, was fit to play at stand-off, and Sean Lenine had recovered from his injuries against England to resume his partnership in the centre with Scott Hastings. The two were playing together for a world record 24th time. Your commentators at Lansdowne Road for this digital international, Hugo McNeil and Bill McClung.
Now Scotland may have decided to play with the wind in the first half. It's Ireland going to kick off into the breeze. And Ralph Keyes gets his 104th meeting between Ireland and Scotland started, and right away it's Michael Fitzgibbon for Ireland as they take it right up to the Scottish 22. Drive on there by Popplewell. A Hernwaits to Keyes. Keyes with a very clever little chip through, and it's a try for Gagan. Gagan has scored, but the referee reckons he was offside, and the whole of Ireland is disappointed.
Well, very good start for Ireland. They had to start with some impetus, and that was a great drive, and that must have been very close, but that will give them a lot of encouragement.
Doddy Weir palms. Milne held by Steve Smith. Now it's Popplewell who drives. Popplewell might have been a bit lower in the drive, but Ireland have still won a good ball to Keyes. Keyes high across the breaking forward again. Hastings waits over Scotland's goal line, and Ireland with a put in.
Great position.
The packs are fairly evenly matched weight-wise, but you can see how close Ireland are. They just average out at 16 stones 1. That's what, about 1,600 weights, thumping against 1,600 weights of good solid beef there. But it's a panic situation for the Scots. Great problem, of course, for their breakaway forwards, whether to stay down and prevent a pushover try or break and help the backs in defence. Penalty against the Scots, maybe for taking the scrummage down. Looks pretty good. He flighted it beautifully. It seemed to be brought back in from left to right. It's a lovely kick by the 30-year-old Keyes. Again, an awkward ball for the Scots scrum half. Yes, Ireland making capital out of some of that untidy Scottish line-out delivery. Quantity is all right, but quality is even more important. Doddy Weir went back. Yes, that was one he had to catch. On there to Edwards. Paul Burnell burrows in and tries to get it. Now it's Nicol, Chalmers, Lenine, Chalmers on the loop. That was a dummy run out to Scott Hastings. Derek White is there. Tuchel going outside to Derek White. Very good cover there, and it could be a try for Scotland. Tony Stanger, number 14, has scored it, and that is his 14th try for Scotland in international matches, and it was certainly a very well-worked score indeed. Weir's catch really started it all off, and sensibly he got over the gain line. So did Big Edwards, Neil Edwards, and then Burnell driving in and helping. Then the passing. Now there was an extra man here. The loop first of all to Chalmers. Here's the extra man coming up, Derek White. Tuchel was well caught there by Wallace, but he got it out to White. Then Chalmers, and then Stanger away from the right wing to the left was on the spot. Very handy indeed. Meanwhile, the kick has been taken by Gavin Hastings. The referee's arm is raised, and it's 6 points to 3 for Scotland. Clear, Nicol out there to Smith, but a very good bit of intercepting work there, up to Ireland's 22, penalty for offside, and a chance for Scotland to stretch the score. But there you get an indication of the remarkable pace of this new 20-year-old Scottish scrum half. He's a big Scottish support here. Scotland leading 9 points to 3. So Ireland ringing the changes in their line-out formations, just a two-man this time. Scotland using Derek White as the scrum half on the 15 metres line. Francis got to it, taken by Edwards, on to White. Nicholl, Chalmers, that's Ian Smith. Nicholl once again, Chalmers, out to Gavin Hastings, beautifully out to Stanger. Stanger is past Keys. Stanger caught by Hearn, inside to White. A great chance for Nicholl. Nicholl is going to score a marvellous Scottish try, and the 20-year-old is thrilled. He scored a beauty against Ireland B on December the 28th. He's repeated it again, and it was a very good and well-created score. Starting here on the narrow side from Nicholl's pass, and then the real pass was this one here from Gavin Hastings that sent Stoney Stanger away. Here he was caught there by a Hearn, quite like a good number 8 up there helping, and Nicholl has that great flaring pace I was talking about, got him there. Great stuff for the Scots. Gavin Hastings with one of the trickiest kicks he's ever had to take, into the wind and a slightly across too. Trying to keep it low. He hasn't slotted it, he has! What an extraordinary kick that one was.
Realising there's an overlap outside, Tony Stanger doing very well to get close to the touchline, and tremendous support by Derek White there, creating really an absolutely outstanding try and a real killer blow for Scotland.
On there to Ian Smith. Smith lays the ball back, taken on by Edwards. A good drive by the Scots forwards there. Now it's Nicholl out to Chalmers, to Lenine, to Scott Hastings. Scott Hastings back inside to Lenine. Over halfway, once again to Scott Hastings, on to Smith. Marvellous handling by the Scots. David McIver now, almost up to the 22. Nicholl to Chalmers. Chalmers with the dummy. Just lost contact with his support players on that occasion. Ahern. Oh, an all-enveloping tackle there by Ian Smith, the orthodox copybook type of tackle, going for the legs, making sure the fellow goes to the floor. So important, because on the floor you're out of the game. Still, however, a good position for Ireland. Ahern gives the call. It's held by Robinson. Now it's Ahern to Keys. To Danaher, on to Keys, trying to work it to Mullen. Back there goes Tuccolo. Tuccolo saved it well. And now again it's Nicholl, and the Scots have cleared it. Wait. Popplewell's trying to wrestle it clear. Number 1 there. There's the 2 number 1s again. That's out to Danaher, caught by Chalmers. Scotland using their drift defence there. Ian Smith in. Now it's Robinson trying to help. Get out again. To Keys, well out to Curtis. Curtis the kick through, it's very awkward, down goes Chalmers. An excellent demonstration of how to fall, get the ball and get up quickly, and it has saved Scotland again, because Nicholl gets it to Gavin Hastings. But every schoolboy should have a look at that fall by Craig Chalmers. It was brilliantly executed. Caught by Hastings, Wallace still, has he made the line? A magnificent try by Richard Wallace, sheer perseverance. Notice Brendan Mullen took it, did just enough, and then Wallace getting outside Tuccolo, but he still had a lot to do. But inside Gavin Hastings, Chalmers half had him, couldn't hold him, and he reached far enough. On the line is behind the line.
See the ball floated past there by Brendan Mullen. It dies a bit, but Richard Wallace gets the ball. But he's a lot to do at this stage. There's a lot of men in front of him. Rides the tackle. Dave Curtis is trying to get it in the best position to support. Rides this other tackle, and then just about gets there in the end. Absolutely crucial for Ireland.
Scotland have restarted. Ireland have knocked on. No advantage. Scrummage to the Scots. And so we're going to have, I should think, a fairly breathless last 7 minutes. White going for the pickup. Oh, it was a slow one. There was no momentum there at all. David McIver had to go back and help. But now Nicholl gets it to Chalmers. Out to Lenine. Lenine looking for forward help. Was bumped in the tackle by Popplewell, and a chance here for Ireland as Keys goes. Housler there to Fitzgibbon. Fitzgibbon to Mullen. Mullen cutting across the 10 metres line. On to Matthews. Fitzgibbon once again. On there to Danaher. Now it's a Hearn going, the Scottish 22. Ireland moving the ball beautifully. Steve Smith has won it for them. It's a Hearn once more. Keys cutting in, gives it to Matthews. Matthews in the tackle from Scott Hastings. And Scotland have been penalised for going over. Off Keys. Flags are up. His second penalty. He'll be so relieved because he's missed 4 or 5. But what well. A Hearn once more. And that could be a penalty. A penalty against Nick Popplewell. And really that is so unfortunate for him, because the natural instinct is to play the ball that comes to you. But it did come off one of his own players. He was in front of him, and so the penalty is given. Gavin Hastings. Flags are raised. Gavin Hastings, 10 points for the match. Scotland stretch away 18 points to 10. They play given enough injury time. He's blown his whistle for the end of the match, and it's been a thrilling game full of errors, partly because of the weather conditions, but Scotland the winners by 18 points to 10.